in general is basically, it's kind of like my life. I go through things over time. I'm still very young, so I know I'm gonna go through other different, tribulations. But the things that I did experience and what I learned from them, or who I became, or things that I realized, they are symbols, words, pictures, and expressions of that. The lotus flower is a very, very spiritual flower. We use a flower or refer to the flower when it comes to your growth coming from the dirt, right? Because the lotus comes from the mud under a pond, and it comes and it sprouts out, and it looks absolutely beautiful as if it wasn't in dirt at all. But then sometimes it closes and it goes back under, then it comes back out. And I think that's how life is. People think that you come from the dirt. Some people, not everybody. You come from the dirt, or you come from the bottom, you come from the mud, and you grow up and you sprout. But it doesn't end there. And people think that it ends there. And when I realized, because I used to think that it ended there, I realized that it didn't. Because the lotus goes down and it comes back up, and it goes down and it comes back up. And that's how life is, because we're always going to go through something that's going to be our down. It may not be the same down as other people, but you will always have downs, because that's how you learn. And you have to learn throughout your life. You will never go through a perfect life. And so I have a lotus, and usually people have a open lotus already, and mine is closed, because that means that I'm always going to be a learning being. I'm never going to know everything, and I don't want to know everything, because it's not my position, it's not my job to know everything. But I came to that realization, and I became okay with it. I became okay with knowing that I'm not going to know everything, and I'll be okay with not knowing everything. And I'm all right with being a closed flower a lot of the time, because you get that sprout and you're there, but most of the time you're here in the ground. And even when you're coming up, most of the time you're here, because you have to learn first, because the journey is what's important, not the destination. And that's what I learned from lotus, and that's the reason why it's closed here. And it's supposed to be like the water or whatever is coming from the mud and the water. The phases were pretty self-explanatory for the moons, because I was going through a very depressed time when I got these. And during the time that I was very depressed, I was very hard on myself, because I'm like, I didn't know who I was. I wasn't understanding the feelings that I was feeling during the time that I was depressed, because I was suicidal, and when I was very angry, but then I was forgiven. I was so many different faces, and I thought it was bad to be that, but that was just different levels or different parts of grief, which was leading to my depression. Like, all of it is cyclical. They all lead to each other. They all impact each other. Depression, anxiety, grief, love, feeling all those different things. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay for me to feel all these different things, because I'm still me. That's the same thing with the moon. Even though the moon is a crescent and a half moon and a full moon, sometimes the moon is red and orange. Like, it just be all different stuff. But it's okay that the moon is all those different things, because it does not defeat the purpose of the moon. It doesn't change the fact that it's still the moon, even though the moon has different phases, and sometimes it's different colors, and sometimes it crosses the path of the sun. None of that matters. It's still the moon. This was just not because of my ethnicity. You know, I'm Black. I grew up in Black culture, Hispanic culture, learning about Native culture, and I don't know the percentages of each, and I really don't care to know the percentages of each, because I am each. I'm Puerto Rican, I am Black, I'm Panamanian, I'm Native American. I am proud of all of those pieces of me. I don't want to change it, and I definitely want to make sure my children know that when they come later. So yeah, that was just for my ethnic. I got a waterfall. This actually isn't finished. There's more that's here, and when that comes, out. This is just a simple area when it comes to me. Each of them represents different things when it comes to my Dogon, my native tribe, and reminders of, you know, why I'm doing what I'm doing to protect me, protect the family that I want to create, and the family that I'm going to create soon, and the family that's around me now. So this is almost kind of like, you know how people have prayers? This is kind of like a prayer for me. It's a reminder of like my purpose and why I'm doing everything that I'm doing, and why it's so important to me. So yeah, and this is 6 ever. I have this matching with my girlfriend in the same spot on her wrist, and it means clearly, like how people say forever, 6 is bigger than 4, so 6 is more than forever. However, it's whatever we want it to be. That's why forever is a term that was given from somebody else to be, you know, what it is for people, and people kind of just stick with stereotypes and stigmas when it comes to terms and what's expected. But we got this so that we know that it's what we say, and that's it. My finger tattoos is very, very spiritual for me. It's 333 is my angel number. It's the most reoccurring number that I see and that I've seen before I even knew what it was. But the number 3 is my life path number for people who are into numerology, spirituality, and stuff. The arrows kind of coincide with the purpose of this here, and so is the I didn't mean to do that. And so is the arrow here. Inside my finger says which way, so it won't be backwards. As above, so below. As above, so below. This goes with, if there's a term to say so you can understand that, you know how people say, oh, I'm already in hell. This kind of means not that for me, but it kind of means like I'm already in heaven. Like what is above is what is here. Everything is what it is. Everything is. And sometimes people kind of ignore what's around them here because they're looking at something that is not here. But if you look here and you're paying attention to what's around you and not what's not here with you, that means that technically that will lead you there faster. Like, I don't know. That's, hopefully people understand that. But I just feel like everything is one. And this also goes with my belief of the earth being flat. And just different things like that. I don't think I'll go more into the earth being flat because that'll just turn into something else. I got the 333 tattooed on my finger on the 33rd day of last year because I had a very intense spiritual experience, coincidentally, on the 333rd day of last year. So I had got that tattoo 333 on my fingers. That tattoo on my hip was actually my very, very first tattoo, and I got it matching with a very close friend that we're still friends today. I got it when I was about 14, 15, and clearly it is a female symbol. It is rainbow, and the words say love ignores consciousness. It came out when I was 14 years old. I got this when I was about 15 because just how things changed to me. Other people who are not me, clearly, when it comes to friends or family, may not understand it because everyone has their different perspectives. But for me, I felt like it was just very difficult to understand emotionally and mentally. As a 14-year-old coming out, and I got this for comfort, and it did make me feel better, and it made me feel a little bit more empowered about the willingness to be myself, no matter how much it bothered everyone else. So that was my very first tattoo. Very, very meaningful, and it's the only tattoo on the right side of my body. Everything else is middle or on the left side, and I'm gonna keep all my tattoos on the left side of my body because it has a lot to do with this tattoo when it comes to this half and halfness. We all have different parts of us, and I feel like I have parts of me just how you have your rising, you know, your moon, and you know, these different signs and stuff. They're just how there's different parts in your brain. There are different parts of me, different parts of my personality, different parts of my emotions, or different parts of my thought process that as I get older, I am more and more willing to understand, that I'm more and more willing to you know, I'm just willing. If you wanted to be more in depth, because I feel like this was very in depth anyways, just ask me some questions down in my comments below, and I'll just answer them there for you if it wasn't clear enough here. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe too. If you're gonna leave a comment, you might as well. And I love you guys. See you.